welcome back to 843 TV. Again, we are at Schiller and Hamilton Law Firm, and now we get to talk with just you, Bennett, about kind of a fun topic that a lot of people need to know about. Golf carts are huge in the Lowcountry, but there's a lot of rules and regulations about licensing and people aren't aware of.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people probably aren't aware that there are some requirements. If you own a golf cart, they need to be insured, they need to be permitted, and registered, which I would venture to say that a lot of folks don't have those things. So first of all, let's talk about insurance. You know,
Sure.
Some people think that they can just call their homeowner's policy and add the golf cart. Well, that's not the best way to do it. You can do it, but that insures your golf cart specifically if it's been stolen, right? But, you know, if you're riding around in the golf cart, you injure somebody else or their property, and you think about a golf cart, you know, it's immediate power because there's no combustion, you know, so if somebody's sitting on the back of the golf cart and it's not ready for you to take off and you hit the gas, they could fly off the back. Golf carts are easy to flip. And of course, you know, they're open and, you know, they're interacting with motor vehicles. So getting them insured protects your family, protects you from any liability. But there's a form on the South Carolina DMV on their website where you can apply for the permit. It's a little sticker that goes on the front of your golf cart, little green sticker, and you get it registered. So those are the important things I think a lot of people fail to do when they get a golf cart. You know, when you go buy a car, they apply for your registration and do all that for you. But when you buy a golf cart, that's not the same. And of course, you know, we have a lot of people moving to the area from other states. So there's other rules and regulations that people need to be aware of with their golf carts.
So if where would you suggest people get started? Tell us about the rules of the road, first of all. There are some.
Well, so there's several that are really important. One, people need to know that obviously it has to be a licensed driver, 16 years or older.
Okay.
A lot of times parents may be gone or they allow their kids to ride around in golf carts. I see it all the time in our neighborhood. Kids riding around, they pile on this golf cart and they're riding around. Very dangerous situation.
Yeah.
But it needs to be a licensed driver, 16 years or older. The golf cart can only be driven within 4 miles of the resident.
Of your residence, okay.
Where it's registered, right? And it can only be done during daylight hours. A lot of people think that they can ride around their golf cart, you know, at night.
Yeah.
Now, some municipalities and private communities, gated communities, may have different regulations for that. But typically, it needs to be daylight hours, 16 years or older. It needs to also the 4 mile, within 4 miles of the house. But the other part of that is that, you know, golf carts now have, some of them are a lot faster.
And they're fancy. They're like souped up, if you will.
Yeah, a lot of distractions.
Yeah.
And it can only be driven on a road marked 35 miles per hour or less. And that's one of the things. That one doesn't get violated nearly as much because in town, a lot of if they run into a bar or restaurant by golf cart, you know, they're within that 35 mile an hour zone. But you know, need to be careful. It needs to be marked 35 miles an hour. So those are kind of the rules of the road for golf carts that a lot of people just need to be aware of, because you can get pulled over and you can get ticketed. So
So we talked about the general things, some safety tips, any other things that you need to do to protect yourself.
Well, sure. Obviously, don't let your teenagers have access to the golf cart. You know, hide the keys, put the keys up. If they have access to it, you know, they hurt one of their friends or themselves, you know, that could be very bad. But, you know, also making sure that it is properly insured, getting the insurance on it. You call, you know, Foremost is one of the companies that writes a lot of, you can add it, if you already have an RV policy, sometimes you can add it to a recreational vehicle policy. You know, making sure that if you're going to be riding on 35 mile an hour roads, that you have seat belts and proper brakes, all of those things that are important. Because you think about it, you know, I ride motorcycles and people say, oh, that's crazy, you ride motorcycles. But yeah, they'll ride around in a golf cart. Well, a golf cart, you're just as susceptible to being hit by a vehicle. You think there's no protection. Yeah, there's open sides, and you know, so they can be pretty dangerous because they're interacting with, you know, larger vehicles. So being mindful of those things and keeping the keys away from the teenagers is probably, and of course, don't drink and drive in a golf cart. Everybody wants to ride around in a cocktail. You can't get pulled over for a DUI and an open container. So maybe be mindful of those. The same rules apply if you're on a public road as if you're in your car.
Yeah, very important as we're getting into spring, warmer weather's coming, everyone's out and about. So good stuff, good tips as always. So we're going to take a break. Stay right here. We'll be back with 843 TV.